Guess we had some technical difficulties, or either we had some haters in the building. Somebody been reporting my live lately, but we ain't worried about that. We gonna keep it going. We gonna get this rebooted. Everybody jump back in. Jump back in. Jump back in. Jump back in. Somebody been reporting my live lately. I don't know who it is. I don't know where the hate is coming from, but you know, one thing I can tell y'all is, God is good, and hate don't get you nowhere, brother. Hate don't get you nowhere. Sorry, but we gonna continue this live. Keep going. Somebody keep reporting. Somebody don't like me. It's a fake account that keeps joining, but we're not even gonna get in the light of day.
Yo, what's been going on, man?
I don't know, bro. I think somebody keep reporting my live. I keep getting a fake account coming in. No followers, no anything. I don't know what it is, but we here now. We ain't even gonna get at no shine. You feel me?
We're in the building. What's happening?
Yes. But to speak on that, that was actually a goal of mine as well. Another goal is to expand for my business and start other businesses as well. But yeah, I just had that question for you. I just wanted to make sure we're all, pushing the envelope, pushing forward on what we want to do, and most importantly, loving the ones around as well. So,
Absolutely. Speaking on business tip, like which one we gonna focus on first, so we make sure we master that.
Oh, definitely expanding, that plate, you know what I'm saying, which is within the trucking business. You know what I'm saying? I've been telling myself I needed more trucks. I needed bigger trucks, you know what I'm saying, to expand to, more the merrier, basically. It's that time now. So that's the first one I need to execute on. I'm almost there. I ain't there yet, but definitely got to execute on that.
That's it. That's period.
Yes, sir.
We ain't worried about nothing else until we execute on that.
Yes, sir.
I don't want to hear nothing else until we execute on that. I ain't even trying to hear it, to be honest with you, because
I hear you.
I know you like to do them accountability Thursdays.
Ooh.
But we ain't trying to hear it until we accomplish that one goal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I don't want to hear the next step. We ain't even do the first step.
I hear you. I hear you. Yes, sir. We got on the night. There she go. Gonna go ahead and invite on in. Everybody, do me a favor, man. Send this live to 5 people. How you doing?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm
The
good.
thing is dipping in the whip. What's happening?
What's up? So I had to apologize. I got caught in the Atlanta traffic and didn't make it to my destination. So I just decided to pull over and we gonna do it how we can do it. It doesn't
Somebody
matter
say
where
no
you are.
excuses. No excuses. Somebody say no excuses.
No excuses. We not doing that. So I'm trying to give y'all look, I'm working on my lighting in the car.
You got the double sunroof out, the sun ain't shining.
All right, you know what I'm saying?
Ms. Davis, I just want to appreciate you for coming on the platform, man. I know it's going
Yeah.
to be a discussion tonight. I just want you to introduce yourself and tell the people who you are.
Yo, so I am New Home Secrets, but my name is Janelle Davis. I'm born and somewhat raised in Queens and mostly raised in Maryland, and now I live in Atlanta. I'm a single mom of a 16-year-old who owns Cookie Crumble Bakery. You may have seen it with Earn Your Leisure events and Dave Shan's events or whatnot, but we are in the midst of revamping her business. And I am in the short-term rental business, which most people know as Airbnb. So you can call it short-term rentals, you can call it Airbnb, vacation rentals, whatever fits, whatever floats your boat. Needless to say, and I'm now helping other people either launch their first Airbnb business, or I'm busy helping hosts revamp their business if they're not getting enough bookings. And obviously not, if there's no bookings, they're not making profit, or they're sometimes not even making rent. So that's what I do.
Okay. Well, let me tap in on that. what must you do for your Airbnb business to be successful? And another question is, what mistakes do most people make when starting an Airbnb business?
I love your question. So I'm going to start with the second question. What mistake do most people make? The biggest mistake is people see social media and YouTube and they see so many people saying that they're making so much money and it is a very profitable business. And they're like, I'm going to do that. And they slap a unit on Airbnb. They go get an apartment in their personal name, go
Mm,
put it on Airbnb. They make money in the hot season and lose money in the slow season and don't know what they're doing.
mm,
And yeah, needless to say, they either get evicted or they have to close their business because they're not making enough money. So many different things. So you have a lot of people who are, I don't even want to say self-taught because self-taught means you went out and got the information, got a coach, got a mentor, and you learned the business. There's nothing wrong with that, but you just have so many people getting into the business just for the money, and not really knowing what they're doing. And tell me again the first question. I want to make sure I answer that.
Like, what must you do to be successful in this business? Like, what
What
are some key points for you to be successful in this business?
it starts with, well, I should say it starts with strategy,
Hmm.
and then systems, knowing your systems, automating it. Because let me tell you something, working with guests, which is working with people, can be draining. The more units you get, it could be a lot. So the goal is always to automate the business as much as possible. Most of the business can be automated. I mean, you could do just about nothing and get paid if you know how to set up your systems properly. Um, and the other thing is just proper research. And I think that's where people go wrong. I have a client right now who was under the understanding that this particular location was a hot location, and but he wasn't getting any bookings. And so I went and revamped it, and then I started doing the research and noticed even his competition wasn't doing getting bookings. Even the ones who had a great listing, everybody's calendars was open. I'm like, well, did you bother to look at that? It's not a great location.
exactly.
Yeah. And so I just say that if you don't know what you're doing, get the information or find the person to connect with or someone to teach you or show you the ropes. Because a lot of people, I noticed this from speaking to a number of hosts, don't even do what I do. Even other coaches don't do what I do. They don't go into in as much depth as I do, to make sure that the business is solid.
They said hey, it's one of a kind over here. They don't do what she do. That was a little spicy in the building. I'm gonna
It was
keep
a
it
little
spicy.
spicy. I'm
I
sorry.
said she gave a
I
little swag in the building. Hold up. I caught that. I peeped that. Yo, talk to the people like for real, like really getting to the next level, really elevating your life, really, you know what I mean, taking your life serious. Like, how important is it getting a coach, a mentor? Like, I don't understand why people want to go on this crash course and say I can do it on my own.
I mean, so let me be clear. Well, if you mean when you say crash course, do you mean like actually buying a course, learning it, and then running the play?
No, I mean trial and error. That's what I
Oh,
mean.
trial and error. Yeah, I for the life of me, I don't understand that. You do have some people. I'm gonna take my friend for instance. His name is Jason White. He's in the federal government contracting space, right? He's killing it. He's been with Rick Ross and a whole bunch of other people. He did a trial and error, but people look at him because he's making millions in federal government contracting, right? But what they don't know is how many years ago he started. He started like in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
Trial and error means you have to go through the years of trial and error, which means you could be broke for years before you really start making the money. So you can do trial and error, and I'm not saying that trial and error doesn't work, but trial and error is going to cost you. And the question is, what is it going to cost you, and for how long is it going to cost you that?
Mm.
Versus bypassing all of that, skipping some steps, and either hiring somebody, get a course, or whatever the case may be, and really learn the business. And I always tell people, like, don't just buy from someone who says, I got a course on short-term rentals or I got a course on Airbnbs. Like, I tell people, look at my IG and go through all of my videos and tell me you don't learn a lot from my videos. And that's what you want to look for. You want to look for somebody you can learn for free first.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can learn for free, then you know when you pay, you're going to get a whole lot more, you know? And
That's
so for me, that's what I did. I hired a coach. I met some people through Clubhouse, and it took off from there, and which is why I know so much, and to the fact because I take my business seriously. And so when I get into something, I learn it inside and out, and I learn it better than what most people. I pay attention to the details, you know. So I'm telling y'all, like, do do yourself a favor and skip the steps, because you could be making money within your first month or two versus trial and error. Like the client that I had, he had no bookings. Imagine having no bookings and you got to pay $2,200 in rent.
mm.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's $2,200 in rent that in a space that you're not living in. That's on top of all your other bills.
Mm.
I hear that.
It's so important.
It is.
And
Absolutely.
one key thing, if your coach ain't got a coach, man, they both students, man. So,
you,
like, if the
you,
coach ain't got a coach, I don't even know why you even trying to learn from them, because y'all both
exactly.
students at this. Like,
Exactly. And that's the thing. Your coach should always be looking to learn, always be looking to expand. You know, I'm looking into going international. That is the next goal, luxury
okay.
international. Because the apartment thing is cool. That's a great way to start. I will never knock that. You can make money doing it that way.
Right.
But the real money, you know what I'm saying? You got to do something a little different. If you start going on Airbnb, right? You go
Hmm.
to Airbnb.com, and that first homepage, they start showing you a bunch of listings. And if you look, all these listings are unique. They're different. They're places that people are like, dang, I've never been in that before. Let me try that out. So if that's what you're noticing that Airbnb is highlighting, where do you think it's going? You know,
Right.
the apartments, like I said, are cool, but the thing about being in the short-term rental business is that you always want to give your guests the ultimate experience. And how do you do that? You can only do but so much in an apartment. You can
Mhm.
only do but so much in a regular house. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But if you have a house, let's think about it. If you got a big backyard, you can create a whole camping site back there and rent that out separate from the house if you wanted to. You know what I'm saying? There's all types of things that you can do with
Hmm.
short-term rentals. That's the reason why I love the business.
I hear that. I saw you had a post saying that as of lately, up until not well, up until probably a couple months ago, um, Airbnb hosts really weren't protected. What did they do differently? Because I'm a person that wants to get into Airbnb, you know, somewhere
Hmm.
on the road. I want to know, like, what happens when somebody leaves holes in your wall? What happens when somebody leaves your house trash? Like, what happens?
Yeah, so now they have air cover. Airbnb, prior to air cover, they were doing a horrible job at protecting the hosts. You would call, and you know, sometimes they're supposed to cover incidences from guests, but then they weren't covering it. You had a hard time getting through. And so with air cover, they're covering so much, like holes in the walls. If you have to do a deep cleaning in your unit for whatever reason, smoking, all those different things, they're doing a much better job at that. And if you're a super host, you get to kind of like skip the line. And I tested it out a few times. Like I called when I had an issue, and they said, "Oh, we noticed that you're a super host. Hold on, we'll get someone to you right away." And they
Mm.
got someone to me within like just a minute or two. And before then, you'd be on hold for like 15, 20 minutes trying to get to a representative. So I think they started realizing Hosts were starting to really complain. Like I was getting frustrated to the point where I wanted to take my listings off of Airbnb.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Now, let's talk about booking.com because let's be real, short-term rentals are not just Airbnb. It's Airbnb, it's booking.com, it's TripAdvisor, it's direct bookings, right? And with booking.com, it's a totally different ball game. I would never advise anybody to get in this space who doesn't know this space and just slap your listing up on booking.com. You want to talk about losing money and getting scammed? Booking.com is the place for that to happen. You have to definitely have the right systems in place. So let me give you an example. Um, because there's a lot of scammers on booking.com. What I had to learn is one, you always want to put a security deposit, especially on booking.com. You can do it on Airbnb as well, but on booking.com, because when you place a security deposit on your listing, you're less likely to attract those scammers because now they have something to lose. They're not going to put up 250, 350, whatever your security deposit is. They're
Mhm.
not going to put that up because they know that they fit into damage your place or squat in your place or whatever, and they know they're not going to get that money back. People who are scammers are not trying to lose money, they're trying to take money from you. So you end up really minimizing, if not eliminating, those type of scammers. I also put in there a contract, so I automate contracts in there. So a lot of times when they book, they get an automated message with a contract, and the contract is digitally signed. And then they also, this is through Booking.com. They also have to send a picture of their government issued ID, and we verify phone numbers because on Airbnb they already do that. Booking.com does not verify nothing.
Oh,
So somebody can say, "Oh, I'm booking your place for my business." Boldface lie. I had that happen to me, and they threw a party. It was some young boys, and this is before I knew how to deal with Booking.com.
okay.
Mm.
Yeah. So different platforms have different things, and you got to be real careful.
Okay.
Oh, but let me say this: Booking.com, you can make way more money than Airbnb. And I'm so serious because so Airbnb has a different audience than Booking.com.
Mhm.
Airbnb has an audience of people who are looking for the cheaper, say more affordable. Booking.com, you charge more. So you can see the same listing on Airbnb and Booking.com, and on Booking.com, it'll be way more expensive. So on Airbnb, it might be, I don't know, $110. On Booking.com, it might be 158,
Okay.
178 per night. Yeah, I'm telling you. And you end up, oh, is my windows open? Hold on. It's raining. It's like, wait, I feel water coming in. So, yeah, you can make more money on booking.com. You just got to know what you're doing.
I hear that. Yo, so some people probably interested in the Airbnb. Like, what kind of ducks in a row do you need before you start this Airbnb business? Because I know a lot. Like, Airbnb is big right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah,
humongous. Everybody's
yeah.
trying to do it, and a lot of people are failing. Like, what are some of the things you need beforehand?
Uh, Again, the information and the strategy before you just go into it. But if you're going to do rental arbitrage, which is you don't own the property, it's somebody else's property, you're going to need a corporate lease. Don't set yourself up for failure by putting it in your personal name because if it fails, right? If it fails for any reason, then the business failed, not you. It doesn't hit your personal credit.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, when you talk about apartments, if you put it in your personal name, then the lease that you sign, I can guarantee you it says no subleasing, right? No subletting, no Airbnb, no short-term rentals, whatever. You're not supposed to. And so if you put it in your personal name and then the leasing office finds out, what ends up happening 9 times out of 10, they're going to evict you, or they're going to at least warn you to stop before they evict you. And
Right.
they evict you, what happens? That gets placed on your credit. And that is a huge, huge hit. Now, if you put it, the reason why we do corporate leases is because it's under your business name. which means your business is an entity, it's not a person. So an entity cannot reside inside of a home. You have to have a person in it. So you can't say no subletting when it's under a corporate business, a corporation. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we do that, is to protect you, is to make sure you do everything on the up and up. So the reason why a lot of the people who fail in this business, because they're not doing the business on the up and up. They're trying to sneak and do it and somehow get caught. And then you'll see on some of these Facebook group pages where they say everything must go, buy all furniture, everything $2, gotta get out of here. Yeah, you like, dang, like what's happening? And oftentimes that's because they have to hurry up and get out because they're getting ready to be evicted because
Right.
they wasn't on the up and up. That's one of the biggest things. Now, as far as like being successful on it, one, you got to know how to work. We're going to talk specifically about Airbnb right now. You got to know how to work their SEOs, right? Or I call it algorithm, but it's really SEOs, right? And because when you go on Airbnb, right, you list your property and you on page 7, 10, 12, or 16, ain't nobody booking you. People don't even go past page 3, maybe 4. You know what I'm saying? After that, they're like, all right, I think I've seen enough. I picked this one, right? And so
Mhm.
you got to know how to work their SEOs. And so you do that. One, if you get Superhost status, that automatically pushes you up, right? If you have dynamic pricing, that means that your pricing should always be moving. Don't you ever set it and forget it. Don't
Mm.
say, "Oh, I'm gonna charge 125 a night," and put it up and don't touch it again. I guarantee you be on page 20. Air, Airbnb rewards people who move their prices according to demand,
Mm.
right? Then you always got to respond to your guests like immediately. You can't wait on that stuff because Airbnb again rewards you for a high response rate. So my response rate is 100%. And I do that mainly through automation. So even if you got a question, the bot or whatever you want to call it is responding to you automatically. I know what it is. My door is open. Here we go. I was like, why do I still feel water? Um,
Hold up,
yeah.
man. Hey, yo.
And
Oh, man.
so, and here's the last thing as far as it being successful. Well, no, let me say two more. Your listing, your photography is everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't even just get a regular photographer. There's some photographers that are really dope in this space. And if you do your research on Airbnb, right? Just scroll your city and state and look at something that like really catches your eye, and you're like, oh, damn, why does that catch my eye? Pay attention to the photography and mimic it, right? And you want to rotate those pictures too, because sometimes one picture will work, another picture won't. One picture might get more views, get people to click. And then the last thing, what was the other one that came to my mind? Oh, the biggest one, reviews. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. If so, that's how with my first unit it took off, because I did the dynamic pricing. I always discount when I first list the property, right? Because you're new, so Airbnb is going to help you out by putting you up top because you're brand new. So you have to monetize on that by discounting it as well, because now you're new, and okay, your photos are dope, okay, your listing is great,
Right.
and it's a discount. Okay, let's go ahead and try it out, because oftentimes people tend to move towards units or listings that have reviews because they know that the place is credible, the host is credible, they're going to get a certain type of customer service. So you have to incentivize them to pick your listing over someone who already has reviews. And
Mm-hmm.
so with that discount, you want to get as many people in as soon as your listing hits. So for my first listing, I got 8 bookings within the first 2 hours, right? And so then what I also do, my automated messaging has very subliminal wording that gets them to give me 5-star ratings. And so I have about 50 something 5-star ratings. So my place can actually be trash at this point. It's the fact that I'm a super host and I got all these 5-star ratings. They like, she must be amazing.
Right.
Book.
I get it. Let me ask you this. So, if you were to go stay at somebody else's Airbnb, what would get you a 5-star rating after staying there? Like, what would get you a great review?
So, okay, say the question. If I book somebody's place, somebody
Yeah,
else's Airbnb?
say if you went out of town and you was going
Mm-hmm.
to an Airbnb, what would make you give that person 5-star ratings after staying there?
Okay. So it's gonna be, so once I book, I'm looking for a response. Thank you for, booking. Thank you for booking with us, whatever. I'm looking to make sure that they give me check-in instructions in a decent amount of time. Like, I don't want it the morning of. No, I'm traveling at that point.
Yeah.
If I have a question, I'm looking to see how quick you respond. These are all the things that really get you to that 5-star. You know what I'm saying? People, when they have a question, especially if they paid you money, they're looking for an answer.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm like, okay, I got a question about my check-in process. I'm not clear on this, and they take 2 hours to respond. That's no good. I need to get in. You know what I'm saying? And my VA, I think I saw her on here. We had that conversation too, and I told her, when a guest is checking in, we know what time they're coming because they tell us, because we ask. We got to pay attention during that time frame so that we respond right away. And so then once I get in to the Airbnb space, I'm looking to make sure that it's clean. I don't want to see no grease stains. I don't want to see no hair in the bathroom. Oh,
Miss Davis is very critical, yo.
Yeah.
She can't stay at the Airbnb.
oh, well, yeah, I can. Because you got some great hosts. My cleaners, they're amazing. You know what I'm saying? Do I have enough towels? Is the AC working? Is my Wi-Fi working? You know what I'm saying? And just basic cleanliness. Kelly laughing. Just basic. We're talking about cleanliness and making sure that the unit matches what was listed. I get a lot of people that say, "Oh my gosh, your unit looks just like the pictures. Thank you so much. We love it."
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Right? And that, I mean, those are the basics. But I think for me, the reason why I get so many 5-star reviews is because I converse with my guests throughout their stay, not too much, but just enough so that they know that I'm here. I'm making sure you good. Do you need anything? Thank you for staying with us. We appreciate you.
Okay.
Now, what kind of extras do you do at your Airbnb space? Like,
What you
if
mean?
somebody's selling a birthday, do you leave a bottle? Because you know what I mean.
I
Somebody left a
have.
bottle.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
you do that? Okay.
Yep. So,
I gotta see
see,
some bookings on Miss Davis. I gotta see if this yours. Because all
so,
these 5-star ratings, we gotta see. We
right.
gotta see some receipts.
So we typically ask, you know, we're always looking to improve. Please tell us what made you book with us, and what is bringing you to our city, something like that. And so a lot of times they'll say, "Hey, I'm coming to Atlanta for my girlfriend's birthday," or whatever the case may be, or my son's graduation. So
Mm-hmm.
with those things, I either myself or I'll tell my cleaner, "Hey, get some cupcakes, get a cake, get a." Well, I automatically put bottles of wines in my unit, so they already get that, and they get Fiji water. But if I know that they have an event, they're here for an event, and it's something special, then I'll add a little something to it.
Okay.
That's how you get. Yeah.
That's
That's
how
how.
you get
All
it.
right. You know what I mean? Shorty left me a
That's
little Casamigos for the 30th.
Yeah.
right, right.
But she
Hey,
complained about the noise afterwards, so she can kiss my. Nah, let me stop.
it's terrible.
I do check my guests on noise levels. I got devices inside, so I know if they loud.
Oh man,
I hear that.
can't
What
say that.
on a day? What keeps you driven on a daily basis?
Uh, Man, I just want to move in life the way I want to move with the people I love. That is the main thing. I've been off of IG. I just kind of got back on IG, if you guys didn't notice. I
Mhm.
took some time off because it felt like it was all about money, 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 money. And money is great for the reasons for which you can do with money.
Mhm.
But when my circle started to grow with people that I really care about, um, that became more important to me. And so me doing what I do, I actually love what I do, and I'm so grateful that I can actually help people in this space. And so it's not like I'm chasing money, I'm chasing helping people, and in return, the goal is to just be able to move with my loved ones the way I want to move, and that's it.
It's not what you. It's not what you gain. It's what you can put out towards other
Ex-
people.
Exactly. Yep.
It's
Yeah.
crazy because it's like the more people you can help, it's just like the money just follows you.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So like the gentleman, one guy, I told him that I was just going to help him for free. And I was like, first, after I said it, I was like, why did I do that? Because it was like hours worth of work. But here's what happened in return. He's connected to
That's why you did it. No, let
a
me
really
stop.
healthy community. And again, he didn't have any bookings. And I got his place booked up. And he started telling all his friends. He told his wife, he told his friends. They're like, well, how much does she charge? Can she do this? Can she do that? Now he wants to bring me on board on his units full time.
That's
You know
what's
what I'm
up.
saying? So, yeah, like people out here need help, in this space because they don't know what they're doing. And even if they bought a course and followed it, some of these courses are not going in depth enough. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? And people don't want to admit it, because everybody's talking about Airbnbs like, yo, I just made five racks. I just made 20 racks, in Airbnb this month. And you can do it, but again, there are some slow seasons and you better know how to work the business for the slow seasons.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that's great. Like, but yo, your daughter's an entrepreneur. Like, tell me that conversation. Like, mom,
So
I want to bake cookies, or you like, yo, you gotta do something. You know what I mean?
So it was twofold, right? Since she was a little girl, she used to drive me crazy. Mommy, let's bake cookies. I was like, yo, like that's not my speed at all. I'm a cook. I cook very well, but baking, I hate it because with baking you got to be very specific. Like the measurements got to be perfect. And so as she's maybe in about middle school, she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna open up a bake shop, Z's Bake Cakes." I was like, "Okay, boo, whatever you want to do." I was like, "But mommy ain't working in that business, so I just want you to know that." And then when she was 12, her dad left. He just made the decision to leave, and so she spiraled. She was suicidal. We had a lot of issues. I shouldn't say we, it was just me and her. There was a lot of issues that we experienced with her, and I just couldn't pull her up from feeling so sad that her dad just up and left her like that.
Right.
And so after I had built my house in 2019, you guys know who David Shands is?
Hmm.
Okay, it's all good. It's okay. He's here in Atlanta. He's pretty well known, and he has a community called the Morning Meetup, and it's just a bunch of hundreds of entrepreneurs that meet every morning.
Mhm.
And so I started getting on those calls, and this is during the pandemic now in 2020, and I was like, "Yo, boo, like, come in the room and just sit here and listen." So between that and she saw the Earn Your Leisure episode with Trey, CEO Trey, the young
Spurgo, right?
Spurgo, yes, there you
Right.
go. She was like, "Mommy, why are we not investing?" I was like, "I mean, I got a little investment." She was like, "No, no, no. Why are we not really investing?" And then she turned around and she was like, "I think I'm ready." I was like, "Ready for what?" And she was like, "I think I'm ready to start my business." I said, "What you mean?" She's like, "My cookies." I was like, "Are you sure you're going to stay committed?" And she said, "Yes." So in 2 weeks, I don't even know how I did it. 2 weeks we rolled the business out. First week she made $1,000,
Mm.
and it kind of just kept going from there. And needless to say, I've been in the kitchen baking with her now.
Got you. He got you.
Been in the Airbnbs before the guests check in.
Right. Oh
She
God.
got
And that's the goal, but I'm like, I ain't got time for all this baking. But to answer your question, exposure. So you know how a lot of times parents tell kids, oh, own your own business, or start your business, or do this, or go get a job, whatever, go to college, whatever the case may be. For some kids, talking to them does not always work. You just got to expose them and know and trust that they're going to pick up some of those things and take it with them. And maybe not right away, because I exposed her to entrepreneurship years before then, and she didn't do anything with it.
Right.
It just one day she was like, I'm ready. And that's kind of what happened. And let me be honest with you, she ain't always feeling it. Just like us as adults, we ain't always feeling the business. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you get
Mm.
tired. You're like, I
Mm.
don't know if I even want to keep going in this. And but I remind her of her commitment, to her business and to herself. So that's where we are with it.
That's what's up.
For the people that want to start businesses, can you do me a favor? Can you tell me what's the best ways to start, grow, scale a business for the people that don't know?
Ah, gosh. So the people who want to start a business, research and information.
Mm-hmm.
Start there. Research and information. Know what is actually a good business, what makes the business a great business. Um, what about that business makes it so profitable? Like, what is it that you have to do to make it so profitable that you may see other people doing? And leverage is, for me, the biggest thing as well, because scaling a business is going to require you to leverage it off. You can't do it all on your own.
Mm.
And I had issues with that. You can ask my Onisa. I don't know if she's still on here. I had a hard time handing some stuff off, and like I would answer, I would respond to the guest before she would, and she like, well, dang, just give me a second. But you gotta relinquish control and leverage off so that you can grow your business by growing your team first.
Okay. All right. Thank
Mm-hmm.
Phew. I'm gonna hit you with a what's it? David Shan's question. What do you say? Where you see yourself at in 5 years so we can play this
Oh
back?
man. Oh my gosh. In 5 years, I definitely see me owning at least 10, and I probably shouldn't make that number so low.
Mm.
Um
you. Hey.
let's increase
We
that.
not doing now. Matter of fact, we not doing that right now. We're not making it low. Tell me something else, man. Tell me a real figure.
A real figure. In 5 years, at least 22. And I don't know why that number popped in my head, but at least
Let's go.
22.
Let's go.
22 babies. You 22.
Let's
Yeah.
Come
go.
on, man. 22.
Owning unique short-term rentals throughout the world, international, in different countries, hands down. And I'm not running them things either. Uh, and I see myself traveling. My daughter will be an adult by then, with my family. And by then, for sure, my homes for women who are suffering domestic violence, that will be up and running. So that will be part of the short-term rental business, but it will be for women who are trying to or working to survive from domestic violence.
Big right there. That's big.
Hmm.
That's major.
That's
Yeah.
When you wanna have that based out of?
It was always to start in Atlanta. That's why I moved here.
Okay.
Yep. He
What made
gave
you move
me
to Atlanta from New York, Maryland? You just kept moving south. You going to Florida next?
no. I don't. Texas is somewhere I wanted to go. Texas and California are the two places I want to go.
Okay.
Um, but what made me move, this is going to sound crazy, y'all. I know it sounds crazy. When I was pregnant with my daughter, I was 19. Um, me and my girlfriend, we were laying on each other. We were both pregnant and stupid. And she was like, I want to move to Florida because we both talked about moving. She was like, I want to move to Florida. And I was like, nah, I think I want to move to Atlanta. Never been to Atlanta. Before I moved to Atlanta, I still have not been to Atlanta.
Mm.
Moving to Atlanta was the first time I was in Atlanta.
What are you saying?
Yeah, yeah. But to be honest with you, God put something in me years ago to move here. And then when I went through what I went through and survived it, that's where the fire reignited about having that first spot for women here in Atlanta, being based in Atlanta, and then expanding it out throughout the US. So that honestly, that's how that happened.
Oh wow.
Oh,
It wasn't for money, it wasn't for business for real. Um, it was just God pushing me to go. And I'll tell you this, since I've been here, I don't really have family like that, but since I've been here, I've had the best connections. I've created my own family here, and the relationships have been amazing. I'm so blessed.
That's what's
hey,
up.
that's what's up. That's what's up.
A-Town
Yeah,
definitely put on. They definitely show love. They definitely stay together. So
yeah, they
you at the
crazy
spot
too, but
at the right time.
He said they
yeah,
crazy too. They
they
all,
crazy. They
that's
crazy
like
too.
my second home.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, this is not the final stop. Okay.
Oh
Oh,
man.
there's nothing wrong with that. You gotta keep going.
Yeah, keep moving.
Um, so what's the Airbnb? I'm guessing downtown is a hot spot, right?
Yeah, downtown. But to be honest with you, I tell people all the time because they always feel like they have to be in Atlanta to make a lot of money in with Airbnb, and you don't. You can be on the outskirts, right? You got Smyrna that has what the baseball park over there. You can be. So let me put it to you this way: you can be in the middle of freaking nowhere and make tons of money on Airbnb. You can be in the country. It doesn't matter. It's the experience that you create. And if you don't believe me, go on Airbnb and start looking at some of these places. And they're beautiful places, but they can be in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, somewhere
And
I
so, yeah, those places actually make more money than an apartment, a luxury apartment in downtown Atlanta. If you know, that's why I said if you know what you're doing, you know the information and know how to work it. So, excuse me, you can definitely make
like.
the money. So, no, I wouldn't say downtown. I mean, yeah, you could if you want to do that, yeah, but let's be real. There's a lot of places that are turned off to Airbnb because of so many bad hosts. You know what I'm saying? So, getting a place downtown Atlanta ain't as easy as it used to be. So you got to start thinking outside the box. Go somewhere with least amount of resistance, least amount of issues, and then make that thing a hell of an experience and watch your money just flow in.
That sounds about right. That
Yeah,
sounds about right.
yeah,
Mm. I hear that, but Janelle, we appreciate you. It was a great conversation tonight. I just want
yeah.
you to think about getting your mind right now. Like, if you was to talk to like your 18-year-old self, like, and they was just sitting right here in your face, like, what would you tell
Yo, don't go to college. Waste of your damn money. Don't get that master's degree. You good girl. Don't do it. Start a business.
Yeah.
Like, had I known, golly,
them?
$100,000 in student loans is not worth it for a
Mm.
piece of paper. Now, I'm not telling people not to go to college. It really depends on you and what you want to do in life. But for a lot of people, there's a lot of us who went to college and we don't use those degrees. And in fact, business can make us way more money than a ceiling at a job that they put over our head. You know what I'm saying? And you're not even
Mm.
happy. You're not happy commuting there. You're not happy being told what to do. You're not happy being told what time you got to wake up and what time you get to see your kids in the evening. you're not happy. You're not happy
Yeah.
asking to take leave to spend time with your loved ones and to travel. You're not happy. Like, oh, I want to have Christmas off. Is that okay? Nobody's happy doing that.
Come on now.
That's
Nobody.
So yeah, so
Nobody.
if I could have, don't do college. For me, for my 18 years old, we ain't got to do college. We can figure something else out. There's so many other options out there.
So many.
Yeah.
that's real though. I know a lot of people that didn't go to college and they're very successful.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
successful. I know a lot of
Yeah.
people that
I,
had a idea, came home from jail, and they're very successful. You know?
mhm.
That's
Mhm.
the real thing. You don't have to go to college to be successful just to get yourself in debt.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, unless you know exactly you want to be an engineer, you want to be an architect, you want to be doctor, lawyer, totally understandable. But
But
you got people like me. I went to college and I had no clue what I wanted to do. All I knew was go get a job, go to college and get a secure job. So I'm like, okay, I got to get this degree so I can get a secure job and make a lot of money. And
What college
now,
you went to?
hmm,
What college you went to?
I went to University of Maryland Eastern Shore, and then when I gave
That's
birth,
okay.
yeah, I went when I gave birth, I transferred to Bowie State University. And for my master's, I went to Strayer University out in Virginia.
Okay.
mm,
Hmm.
Black college life. I see you.
Black
Got
college
the
life. That's
bill.
right. HBCUs. And
I
I
see.
can't. I only experienced my freshman year. After that, I was a mom. So,
I hear that.
HBCUs in the building. That's
so
what's up.
I messed up myself up twice. Went to college and had a kid.
That probably was your biggest blessing, though, man.
It definitely was. Definitely. Yeah.
I hear that.
That's what's
All
up,
right.
Miss Davis.
So
What you
y'all got any more questions for me? Does anybody in the audience have any Airbnb questions? Write it in the
Go for
chat.
it. Yeah, right up in the chat. Let her know something.
Yeah. Like I'm here. Y'all better get me. I already dropped some stuff if y'all was paying attention. If y'all
They
was
said
paying attention, I've already dropped some stuff. What'd you say?
they're a little stale in here tonight. Little, there's a bag of.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So are either of you in that business or have considered being in the Airbnb short-term rental business?
I definitely consider it.
Okay.
I had a friend. He passed away, and we talked about that. He told me about the Turo business first, which I just
Right.
interested too. But
Mm-hmm.
we definitely wanted to do the Airbnb business.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just definitely wanted to pick your brain about that. I'm sure I'll be, hitting you in the DM, asking more questions.
So tell me what has prevented you from starting?
It's not myself. I just haven't did the proper research because I'm trying to execute on my first business, which was in the trucking and expanding and doing that first. So
Got you.
like Dayron said, you can't do too many things because it's like you're running in place. You'll get nowhere, right? They just focus
That
on.
is true. That is true. But you have a lot of people also who have other businesses
Mhm.
who want to get into the Airbnb space or have gotten into the Airbnb space and they didn't do anything to get in it. They're not doing anything to make the money because
Okay.
they completely leverage it off. So you can do something like co-hosting, you know what I'm saying? So you can it's a whole do it for you project. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like, hey, I want to get an Airbnb. Here's the money. Find the the location, get the lease signed,
Mhm.
um, decorate it for me,
Mhm.
set the systems up for me, manage it for me. You know, so you do have some people that do it that way. It's no different from an investor who, let's just say, they buy houses from wholesalers,
Okay.
right? They're not doing any of the work. They're hiring people to contractors to, you know, renovate the house. And then once it's renovated, if they're not selling it, then they're putting it up for lease. You think they're managing that property? No, they're hiring somebody to do all of that. They don't do nothing. All they
Okay.
do is buy it.
I hear that.
and have somebody else.
Makes
So, I say that to say that you have options. Like, I get that you're already in a space and you're working that, and
Uh,
you should focus on that. Um, but you can always get help so that you can start it sooner than later.
Definitely, definitely. I'll definitely be tapping in with you though. You know, 'cause like I said, Georgia, the whole Georgia for real.
Oh,
Um,
Georgia.
Atlanta is my second home for real. Like I was always down there until
Yeah,
I became a father. I was always down there. I was always taking.
yeah.
I have plenty of
You
family.
you look like you was the partying type. Was you out there?
I mean, you know, I try to do
Yeah,
the thing when
okay.
I can do it. You know what I'm saying? I try.
Yeah.
But as lately I've been chilling. You feel me?
Right.
I've been chilling.
That is so funny. Okay, where are you now?
I am in Maryland.
Oh, you're in Maryland.
Yes,
What
yes.
part?
Uh,
Okay, well, never
you
mind.
know,
You can put it in the DM.
I got you. I got you. I got
Okay.
you.
He's like, oh, she asking too many personal questions, and we got people watching. Okay. Well, I actually sold my house in Upper Marlboro,
Okay.
so that was most of my time in Maryland, and I lived in Greenbelt and District Heights before
Okay.
that. Hmm.
Yeah, I
Yep,
travel
yep,
to
yep.
the area sometimes. Definitely up in.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody asking, you from Baltimore? I said, do I look or sound like I'm from Baltimore?
yeah, don't do that. Don't.
I
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
but at UMES, it was nothing but Baltimore, Jersey,
of course.
Philly, and New York.
Hmm. I went
I
down there
loved
a
it.
couple times. I knew that. I had to find that out real quick.
Yeah, that's so funny. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know. And where are you located?
You talking to me?
So you.
Nah, Maryland. So,
Oh, you in Maryland
yeah,
too?
yeah.
Okay. Well, I know my mom and them is still in Maryland, so I know when I
I think I seen
head
that at the grocery
home.
store the other day. Matter of fact.
What?
Let me. I said, let me help you with the potatoes now. Now let me.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. And yeah. When I come home, I'm gonna hit y'all up. Be like, yo, where y'all at?
We
Hey,
well, PG County. That's right down the street. I live in Anne Arundel County.
Oh, you live in Anne Arundel. Okay. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
let's
All
go.
right. That's
Let's
what's up.
go.
Right by the mall. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you right there.
Yeah.
So, any other questions, especially for the one who thinking about getting to the space? I thought you would have a ton of questions.
I mean, that's why I was firing them off when we first started. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I wanted to see what you knew first.
Would
You
you
know what
right?
I'm
Right.
saying?
Okay.
Then I come up in there later on. You
That
know,
that makes sense. You
you
like,
know what I'm
okay,
saying?
she might know what she talking about.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna get with you. I'm gonna get with you. I'm gonna get with you.
Okay. That's what's up. No, I totally feel you. Well, I appreciate you all having me on. My alarm keeps going off. It's telling me to pray. I pray 3 times a day now. So
Nothing wrong with that.
yeah, yeah. So God's like, yo, you supposed to cut this off. You supposed to be praying right now. So but yeah, if you ever have questions, hit me up.
Yeah,
Of
man.
course.
When you come home, hit us up when we in the A. We always in the
Yeah.
A. Well, kind of the A. I be in McDonough a lot. My cousin live down there. I'm
Oh
thinking about
yeah.
building a house down there.
Yeah, it's cheaper. It's cheaper out there for sure.
It used to be. It's
It's
crazy
it's
now.
well, it's cheaper compared to Atlanta. Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, the
yeah.
prices going up everywhere. Everywhere.
Fast, fast. So,
Yeah, it's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, got a couple friends. They said don't come. Do not come. It's going up. It's going
Yeah,
up.
to be honest, like my townhouse, because I built my townhouse, it was I bought it for 410. When I sold it for 475.
Mhm.
Right now I checked it's worth 525.
Mm-hmm.
Same townhouse in Atlanta. And I'm not even Atlanta, Decatur. They said new construction, $700,000 plus. I said, what? In Atlanta? It's so expensive here. You're not catching no break coming here. I thought I was gonna be catching a break. I ain't McDonough maybe compared to Maryland,
You
but
catching
not
Brad,
really.
catching
Yeah,
traffic.
Y'all go on the outskirts.
even the outskirts are about the same compared to Maryland.
Oh wow.
Yep. So Texas is where I'm going next.
I hear that. That's what I said.
Yeah,
I want to thank you for coming on. Definitely been dropping
absolutely.
knowledge. I appreciate every bit of it. I
Yeah.
touch with you.
Thank you. I appreciate you both, and
Mhm.
I hope you guys have a blessed evening. And hit me up if you need me.
Yo,
Right.
have an amazing Memorial weekend. Don't have too much.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
nah. I'ma just, work out.
Bake a little
Enough.
cookie. You know what I mean? Pray a little bit. I feel you. I ain't
Right.
saying that.
Y'all take care.
Have a good one.
Good.
Take it
You
easy.
you too, bye.